What's up, internet families and friends? Today I want to give you the tools so you can mix your own vocals. So if you do from rap to EDM or pop music, this is going to be a great video for you because I'll go over all the process you need on a lead vocal and also the mindset you have to keep in mind to achieve the sound you want. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
History deleted.
So for today's video, I wanted to use one of my official track, but unfortunately all the lead vocals I had were already print. So the singer already sent me like a version compressed and EQ'd. So this is why we're gonna use my voice in a quick cover I made. So let's have a listen.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always. This is strange darkness goes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I stare, I counted webs from all the spiders, catching things and eating their inside. Like indecision to call you and hear a voice of treason. Will you come home and stop this pain tonight? Stop this pain tonight.
If you don't recognize that song, well, let me know down in the comment section where have you been for the past 20 years. So let's have a listen to the dry vocals.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
So as you can hear, I've already cropped all the best takes together, and I've also used Melodyne to use the pitch correction tool. So to help you understand my thought process on a vocal mix, I prepared a beautiful blueprint with a super advanced software. I really recommend you to pause the video and take a screenshot of this so you can come back to it later. But this is a quick guideline to what I'm doing and in what order. You can always switch things up, but just for the sake of it, we're gonna go with this template for today. Also a quick note, I just want to say that whatever is your genre of music, you're gonna need all those steps and probably those ones also, but I'm gonna go more in depth into that later on in the tutorial. So let's jump into it. Let's start with the low cut and dynamic EQ. So the first thing I've done on this vocal is to remove the low end, and how you want to do it is that you want to play the vocals on top of the instrumental and keep increasing the low cut until it feels like a bit too much, and then pull it back off.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream.
So right there would be a good position. Next, I've controlled the low end with those two bands, and this is a feature I've only seen in Nectar 3. So you can assign a band, but instead of being dynamic, like upwards or downwards, it's gonna be dynamic, but left to right. So let's have a look.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight.
So as you can see, the second band right here is following the root note of the vocals, and this is something really great that I was looking for a long time, because that's usually the problem with vocals and sometimes some other instruments. Depending on which note you're playing or singing, the root note is always going to change. So sometimes it wasn't enough to just have like a fixed band. So this really helped me save some time. So I've applied 2 of those.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
If you don't have Nectar 3, you can always use FabFilter.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight.
So same principle, you can always low cut and then find the low frequency you want to control and use this dynamic band right here. All right, next I've used a compressor. So I've used this CLA 76, and I've used a really fast attack and a fast release to really catch those peaks on those vocals. Let's see how much I've done.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
And as you can see, you don't really want to go really over 7 dB of reduction. Maybe stay in between 5 and 10. That would be the perfect sweet spot. Also, something I want to point out is that every time you use those emulation of analog gear, is gonna color the sound a little bit, and this can really helps you create a more unique flavor to your song. So if you have some analog replication in your plugins, vocals are really a great place to use them. Next, I've used the CLA 2A.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
And as you can see with this one, which is more transparent than the last one, I'm doing in between -10 and -20 dB of gain reduction. If I wouldn't have those compressor, I would probably use the glue compressor with a fast attack and a fast release with a 4 ratio compression. And like I said, maybe in between 5 and 10
and I'm so sorry
of gain reduction. And the next one, a slow attack and a slower release with a 4 ratio, and in between 10 and 20.
And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I can't.
Next, I've used a de-esser. So as you can see, it's only the default setting, and you can play with the threshold and the range until you have enough of a gain reduction just for the S's.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
Here you can hear the compressor doing his job in between those frequency right here. All right, so next, if you keep track with the guideline I gave you, this is where you want to start adding additive EQ and also saturation. So for this vocal, I've used the EQ P1A. And with this plugin, I always go into the preset section and use the Deanvox and just reduce the boost right here on the low frequency.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
So this is with it.
I cannot sleep. I cannot dream
and without.
tonight. I need somebody and always.
And some other EQ I like is the SSL right here.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep.
Which is great to boost the high frequency of the vocal. And I also like this one, which is called Shep 73, and go under vocal 1 right here.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
So let's go with this one for now. Next, I've just added a low cut just to make sure that we don't have any low end coming from the compressor or some saturation from the plugin.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
Cool. And I've used also Gold Fuzz.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
All right, so this track is basically, this is going to be a gold standard for any type of vocal. So if you're doing rap, if you're doing EDM, if you're doing pop music, this is the kind of process you want to control those vocals and really make them shine. You can always switch up the compressor, always switch up the EQ, maybe try some saturation for a more gritty tone if you need so. But yeah, I really try to stick around with this chain, and you can always switch up the compressor and EQ order. It doesn't really matter. It's really up to you now to create your own chain. All right, so next we're going to create space on the vocal. And I think that A, B, and C could be applied in any genre also. So if you do any kind of pop, any rap, or any EDM. So let's start with those. So the first one is going to be the chorus. So as you can see right here in this track, we're going to call that lead vocal effects. I have my dry vocals.
Where are you? And I'm
okay, and in parallel, I have this chorus at 100%, and I've cut the low end.
I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot.
I could have left the low end. It's really up to you at this point. I've just preferred it that way for this song. So together.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
Without.
I need somebody and always.
With.
This is strange darkness goes creeping on.
And I just wanted to show you something also. As you can see right here, we have this imager. And This is the dry vocal.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
And with the chorus.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
So it's really nice. As you can see, we create just a little bit more width to the lead vocal, so it's going to be less mono. Next, we have a hash effect. So right here, I have, let's put that back, maybe at 20. And as you can see right here, it's really off phase. But if we add it with the dry vocal,
where are you? And I'm so sorry.
It creates, again, just a little bit more width to the sound. So with the chorus also.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
Great. Next we have a small reverb.
Where are you?
And for this one, I've used the Valhalla room and I've cut the low end and also some of the top. But this is also a place where you can use your own reverb and just choose like a small decay time and play around with the different settings. You can also choose a preset and play around with it.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always.
All right, great. And the next one is not going to be for rap, but mainly EDM and also maybe pop. So you wanted to apply a long reverb. Same thing, you can play around with the settings, choose some different preset or some modes. I've used the Valhalla, but you could have used anything from QL Space or the Ableton stock reverb. There's also this FabFilter Pro R, which is great. So you can just play around with the different settings and preset, and you can find what fits your song better. I've also cut the low ends at around 300, 350, and I've cut the high end at around 5K. And the last one is going to be the delay. So it's 100%. Some feedback, it's 1.8. And also something I want to point out is that, yeah, I've EQ'd the delay, but I've also used another chain right here. So for your delay, what you don't want to have is a dry delay, just like this. It's gonna blend a little bit better if you put the long reverb on the delay. So to do that, all you have to do is, let me clear this up. You're gonna select those two. I left click and I hold Alt. I'm gonna drop that right here. I'm gonna select those two and click Command or Control G. I'm gonna click right here. Right here. Yeah. I'm gonna call that reverb. And I'm gonna call this delay dry. Next, I'm going to apply a macro to this level right here. I'm going to choose the maximum. Let me close this. Let me choose the maximum range is going to be 0 and the minimum at -infinite. So right now, what I've just done is that I've copied the long reverb, this long reverb on the delay, and I have set a macro to control the amount of reverb I want on this delay. Does it make sense? Okay, so you can always back up the video if you want to see that again. But I'm gonna increase this macro until the delay has enough reverb on it.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always. This is strange darkness.
I often find myself doing it around -8 or -10. So let's go with -8 for now. And this is the end of the vocal effects process. So what I like to do is always put an EQ at the end, just to make sure that all the frequencies I have are well controlled and well placed in the mix. So let's have a listen.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry, I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always. This sick, strange darkness goes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I stare, I counted.
And finally, what I like to do is to put the limiter, just to control the final dynamics of the vocals.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry, I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need.
So this is before.
Always. This sick, strange darkness goes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I stare,
And after.
I counted webs from all the spiders, catching things and eating their inside. Like indecision to call you and hear a voice of treason. Will you come home and stop this pain tonight? Stop this pain tonight.
Alright, so I hope you've learned something, and I think you have now all the tools you need to mix any kind of vocals. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.